Hey, it's Drew Bentley here with Learn Guitar with Drew. Today we're going to take a look at Hey Jude, one of the greatest songs probably ever written. But first, thank you so much for supporting what I'm doing here at this channel. Please hit that subscribe button, that would be great, and click the bell for notifications when new lessons come out. Also in the comment section down below you'll find links for my websites and other guitar stuff. Okay, so the song is great on so many levels. So let's kind of dive into how to play it, some different ways to play it and approaches, and then also the theory behind it, because there's so many cool theoretical things happening in this song. Songwriting wise, it's kind of a gem in that sense. Okay, so the song starts with this F chord, which is an E bar chord form on the first fret. Then it goes to a C chord, to C7, back to F. Flat, F, C7 again, and back to F. Okay, so that's 8 measures, and it's the A section of the song. So the first theoretical thing that's cool about this piece of music is that a lot of the Lennon-McCartney or McCartney-Lennon songs didn't really have a verse and a chorus in a traditional sense. Like, there wasn't an actual verse or chorus. It was more like an A section, B section, and ultimately a C section, sort of like jazz music would be like a standard jazz piece, or classical music where you have like an A section and the B section, not a verse and a chorus, because the song starts with Hey Jude, which is a resounding chorus, but it also is the verse because it tells the story at the same time it's the verse. And then it goes into a distinctly different B section. So pretty cool writing. They did this an awful lot of times. Like a lot of their songs were like this. It's 8 measures. We have the 1 chord, which is F. B flat's the 4 chord in the key of F, and C7 is the 5 chord in the key of F. So it's 1, 4, 5, the primary chords in the key. 1, 4, 5, 1. Now what's important here is that this C7 chord is the 5 of the 1 chord. It's dominant, so there's this tritone in it, which is very tense sounding, which goes back to the 1 chord. So what happens is this contrapuntal resolution where Fa goes down to Mi, T goes up to Do, and it creates this nice little kind of going home feel. Now, one point of interest here is that on the C chord, on the piano, Paul McCartney plays this sus note for 2 beats. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Okay, so that's in there also. So if you want to be fancy, you can throw the extra kind of note in there. So I'll play that part with a strum first. 8 measures. 2. This part I was saying was like this. Okay, so you can play that with a strum if you'd like, but you can also do a piano technique, since he played this on piano. Either your fingers and your thumb, plucking the strings, or maybe hybrid picking, you're picking fingers together. So it's kind of like the same feel he did for Yesterday and a bunch of other songs like that. On piano, same key as well. If you kind of play like a bass chord, well actually it's chord bass, so it's like, so it kind of gives you the feel of a piano. You can play the sus chord here if you wanted to as well. Back to F. But if you prefer to strum it, which probably would make more sense on the guitar, possibly, depending on the application. Again, if you're playing this like in a soft setting, you want to sound like a piano, that's cool. If you're playing it to sing along with it, and you're doing this like as a solo act in a bar or a club or something, strumming is probably your better bet. Okay, so that's the A section of the song. It's 8 measures, and then there's this cool walk down that happens with octaves, and George Harrison plays that. And then we get into this really neat thing where we're playing an F7 chord. So we went from F to F7, and what's happening here is called a secondary dominant. we're making the 1 chord into a 5 chord of the 4 chord. Now that sounds confusing, but basically F7 is now the 5 of B flat, which is the 4 of F. So it's kind of like a little play on keys there. There's a modulation to a different key by making this F chord into a 5 of the 4. So now we're in a different key. So it's pretty neat. Like, it's cycled into a different key by using something called a secondary dominant. You can make a chord dominant, becomes a 5 of something else, and then you're in a different key. So now in the B section, we have B flat is now our 1 chord. And we take off our first finger and play the open A string. So we're going right down the scale to G minor 7 or B flat over G. That's like B flat over F. So it's or you can do it like this. So on the C chord, I continued on to play C over E. I put an E in the bass of this guy. Because on the piano, it goes way down. They have more range. So this is like... Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's right down the B flat scale. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and so you can strum this or you can pick and finger this, whichever way you want to do it. Okay, so now in the key of B flat, something even cooler happens with the theory behind this song. So now we're in this F chord again. Now it's going to go like this. The measures get really kind of wonky here, but you can work your way through it. 1, 2, 3. The melody goes. So during that part, that's like 1 and 2 and 1, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. I'll do this again. Hey Jude. Now that's kind of confusing, but it's really not. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 for F7. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's a measure of 2. 1, 2. Back into the F chord again. So that sounds like this. Again, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and boom. So I did this little walk up here. Did it slowly. That's so we have. Back to the A section. Back to that again. So far we have section A again, and then the B section, and now we're back to A. And then we're going to go into B again with this octave walk down. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3. and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so now that takes us neatly back into the key of F. So that's the 5 now of F, and that's how that transitions back into the key again. Now if we walk down. See, it sets us back in the key of F again. So really kind of clever how he plays through that cycle to go from the A section to the B section. There's actually a modulation of a different key, but it's done so seamlessly. And then the fact that he throws in this extra measure of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 1. Okay, so there's a little extra 2 beat measure in there, which is cool. So now we have this odd meter happening with the modulation happening. There's a lot to unpack there, but it's seamless when you listen to it. It doesn't sound like he's doing something for the sake of musicology, to be creative or to be clever. It just kind of flows. Okay, so now we have A section, B section, A section, B section. Then it goes back to the A section, and then there's this giant C section at the end. So the song actually is over 7 minutes long. I think it's 7 minutes and 6 seconds. And back then, that was a really big deal. To put out a single that was so long, nobody wanted to do that. But it kind of paved the way for a lot of the, I think, for a lot of the progressive bands in the 70s that played like album rock, like really long album sides that went on forever, like 2112 for Rush or something. It's just sort of that idea that you can have a larger piece of music that's not just a teeny little encapsulated thing. Okay, so we have A, B, C. Let's go over these again. I'll play through these slowly. That's enough music theory stuff. I'll just see if I can get you to kind of play this. Here's the A section. I'll do that second time through very slowly. Okay, so that's kind of like A section, B section, A section. Okay, so the arrangement again, A, B, A, A, B, A, B, A, and then there's C section. Hey Jude. Now that part there is F, 2 and 3 and 4. It's E flat. The way that I'm playing this is a first inversion E flat chord, another caged system reference. If I play this kind of D form, looks like a D, second finger's on this note. So it's like that's the third of the chord. So it looks like this, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4. So this is a 4-measure repetitive section. Again, this chord looks like this. And that just goes on and on and on and on and on for like 650 billion times. I'm just kidding. For 7 minutes long for the whole song, that C part's probably, I don't know, 4 minutes long or something. It just goes on for a long time. Okay, so A section again. 2, 3, 4. Very slowly. C chord. C7. And then you can come up here and do the fancy Csus up here. 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. And then to walk down, there's 2 of those, and then just to this B sections like this. We have wrap this guy around down here, this guy here, or your thumb. E the bass. C7. It's like a little kind of cool little like go around there. And then this part, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so that's a good long look at how to play Hey Jude. Pretty great song. Really, really awesome songwriting from one of the greatest players, writers ever. Some pretty cool backstory about the song. At some point throughout the song, if you listen with headphones, you can hear some interesting stuff going on. Apparently, John Lennon had just learned the song and he wasn't sure what chords to play. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of speculation about those things too. If you just put some headphones on and listen to it, you'll probably find what I'm talking about. It's really, really fun to take a look at these classic songs and try to read about what it was like to make them and all the different things involved. So you can wrap yourself around so many aspects of the Beatles music. It's fantastic. All right, well, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you had a good time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and leave some comments in the comment section to just get involved in the conversation. I'd like to hear what you think, if there's something you want me to cover on the channel and to go over. And well, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you at the next lesson.